The protesters behind me are not letting their voices go unheard today. They've been out chanting and marching since 3 o'clock, opposing the president's rally. We're here in one of the elementary school's parking lots. Now, check out how close the shooting was. That occurred last night. It was less than a football field away. Where the excitement for Hallie Thompson has continued to grow all night. In fact, it is so crowded inside, we're not able to fit in. Community members have been nothing but welcoming. I got a free cinnamon biscuit I'm gonna have to try later. Police responded to the shots fired call off Clark Lane near this apartment behind me at around 11:45 last night. After experiencing the devastation of Joplin, Blake says she always looks for when things are on sale and will grab them to keep them in storage just in case. Emily, anyone can easily zoom in on a location and click on that bathroom to see where its exact location is. Now, the map has 4 different categories: unisex bathroom, family bathroom with adult changing table, and more. The creators of this map believe it will have a great impact.
Mexico, Missouri businesses are painting the town purple to raise awareness on domestic violence. KOMU8's Mercedes Mackay joins us here in the studio to tell us how a restaurant is going the extra mile.
Jim, one restaurant on the outskirts of Mexico is doing much more than serving eggs and hash brown behind its purple decorated door. Just off Mexico's Liberty Street, there are signs of hope, signs of healing. The signs show at Stacy's Place support for victims of domestic violence. Inside, you'll find an owner who knows the feeling all too well.
Myself being a survivor of domestic violence.
Stacy Conklin says she and her employees put out donation boxes for the women's shelter.
I think that it's something that needs to be recognized more than what it is, and we've had a lot of support from our customers.
If you take a walk through downtown Mexico, you'll see purple doors like these and signs like this one all across storefronts. This is all part of the Purple Door Project, but Stacy's Place has something the others don't.
We look at her as being an angel in disguise.
This angel is Diane Johnson, who works down at the sheriff's office.
God, I can't even think of all of what I put in there and that. A variety, I should say.
Diane comes into Stacy's Place every day to fill the box with the new blessing, like pillows and blankets.
Because I see it out there where I work and that with the people coming in.
Johnson and Conklin say this is a chance to give a voice to the voiceless.
I want them to know that there is life after living like that.
And these signs are a reminder there is hope and healing nearby. Stacy's Place will keep the donation box out until the end of the month. In the studio, Mercedes Mackay, KOMU8 News.
Speaking of this race, another day, another attack ad as our state's important Senate showdown creeps closer. The most recent one targets McCaskill and her family's wealth. She is one of the wealthiest members of Congress. In fact, Republicans frequently remind voters. In this Target 8 fact check, KOMU8's Mercedes Mackay dug deeper into McCaskill's money decisions.
This specific ad is running a lot these days. Its goal is to make you think McCaskill has her family's wealth in mind instead of Missouri. The group responsible for the ad is the Senate Leadership Fund. It's a super PAC aligned with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell.
The further Claire McCaskill leaves Missouri behind, the wealthier she gets.
By the way, the Senate Leadership Fund is spending a lot of money to take back McCaskill's seat. OpenSecrets.org says the Senate Leadership Fund has spent $8 million attacking McCaskill in just the 2018 election cycle. Here's claim number 1.
Since she joined the Senate, McCaskill's husband's businesses got taxpayer-funded subsidies.
We fact-checked this before. This claim needs context. The $131 million figure does add up according to analysis by the Kansas City Star. But here's the catch. All of this money does not go directly into Joseph Shepard's hands, and he doesn't decide how to use the money. And we previously explained the subsidies were part of a larger bill with bipartisan support on a committee that McCaskill wasn't on. She did vote yes on the larger bill. Claim number 2.
Allowing Claire and her husband to cash in, earning up to $22 million personally.
We found this claim needs context as well. It comes from a Washington Free Beacon article. The KC Star also reported Shepard earns between $300,000 and $1 million from investments in housing projects that receive federal subsidies. Altogether, that's a range between $5 million and $22 million. The ad uses the phrase up to, which is the very top of a range. Claim number 3.
He put $1 million in a Cayman Islands fund, an offshore tax haven.
We find this claim needs context. The Kansas City Star reported Shepard invested $1 million in a hedge fund tied to the Cayman Islands. This Caribbean nation is one of the world's most notorious tax havens. According to the Associated Press, hedge funds are unregulated funds from wealthy investors that trade everything from commodities to real estate and more. In the Kansas City Star article, it confirms Shepard has received between $230,000 and $2.1 million from his investment in Matrix Capital Management. They received this information from McCaskill's financial disclosure forms, which only show a range of income. However, in those financial disclosure forms, it shows the Matrix Capital Management location is in Waltham, Massachusetts. This U.S.-based fund then goes into a master fund in the Caymans, and this makes the actual investments. This structure is legal and very common for hedge funds, according to the Associated Press. And keep in mind, if Shepard declares his investments on his taxes, he does not receive a great deal of a tax haven. These profits would be a matter of capital gains tax back in the United States. Claim number 4.
And she pulled her name from a bill targeting these tax havens.
This claim is incomplete. Let's start with what this bill is. The Stop Tax Haven Abuse Act aims at cracking down on offshore investments. According to congressional records, McCaskill was one of the 5 co-sponsors of the bill in 2009. These same congressional records show McCaskill's name is missing when the legislation was reintroduced in 2011. Her support for the bill remains absent from the records when it was reintroduced in 2013, 2015, and 2017. But here is why this claim is incomplete. McCaskill's campaign team says when a new Congress begins, every bill starts from scratch. And just because McCaskill's name is not on the bill does not mean she doesn't support the legislation. Her campaign team says McCaskill, quote, absolutely still supports this legislation. Holly's campaign says, quote, Missouri should reject McCaskill for caring more about her lavish lifestyle than she cares about middle-class families. When this attack ad came out, McCaskill's campaign team laid out their own fact check saying these attacks are 100% false. For this Target 8 fact check, I'm Mercedes Mackay, KOMU 8 News.